You're listening to ESOPOD, the Foliance ESOP podcast. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today on ESOPOD, the Foliance ESOP podcast. I am Sean Hoy, and today I'm joined by Michael Harmon. He is the build shop manager at Cimarron Trailers in Oklahoma. Michael, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Busy week.
Oh yeah? Is that pretty typical? Is it kind of go, go, go all the time?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. It's nonstop.
Your title is build shop manager. What's a typical day-to-day look like for you?
Currently, being the build shop manager, I try to be there, answer questions, prefab parts, build department, custom bays. Trim shop needs me. I go out there. Lately, I've been helping with a little bit of welding.
So you're all over the place.
Yeah, I get my steps in.
Yeah. I guess we'd step back a minute. How long have you been with the company, and what's your background?
My original hire date was January 11th, 2001. So I'm considered an old man out here. My background is I'm from Chickasha. Originally, my family's from Chickasha. Moved away for a little bit. Moved to Tampa, Florida for a few years. My wife works up front, Heather. Got 2 grown kids. I've welded my whole life. I take a lot of pride in everything we do out here.
So you kind of go all over the place in the shop, which is very familiar. I kind of feel the same way in IT. We're all over the place. Is there a certain spot that you said you've welded your whole life? Is there a certain area that is like your favorite, your go-to, you love diving into?
Honestly, I just like creating. I worked in the parts department, ran the parts department 2 different times for a total of, I think, 16 years. So that was my home base. A young man named Justin Roper's taken it over and has taken it to higher than I had it. So I just like anything. I built floors, hitches. I've been all over the shop. I've done repairs. It's just fun to be able to create and fabricate what we do out here.
And you said you were busy, and every day is busy, but are you guys still pushing out 1 or 2 trailers a day, or what's your average for a week?
This week, actually, we ended up pushing out 12. Our goal was 13, and 2 to 3 trailers a day. But we're on a PPR base, so each trailer's worth points. We're needing about 40 points a day, give or take. Our weekly goals, we need 230 points plus a week.
Wow. So I was going to ask if doing that many a week, does it get to be routine, or since it's so custom, you have to constantly be on your toes and making changes?
You got to pay attention to what's ordered. Don't go by the picture. Always go by the spec sheet. Communicate. A lot of our customers currently are sky's the limit on what they want. It's pretty amazing. So you got to be on your toes. You got to think outside the box. We'll say we've also got a really good engineering core here. Brian Stidham is outstanding. His team really takes care of us.
Yeah, I've met him several times when I've been down there, and everyone in engineering is really smart and seems like they really know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Definitely different than what I know how to do. It's pretty impressive the spec sheets and all the drawings that they put out. And they have their wall full of printed, like 3D printed pieces, and almost like Legos.
Well, really look at it. Talking about like Legos, you're assembling something on a bigger scale. So when we were kids and we were building with Legos or Connects or any of that, we're just doing the same thing. We're just grown up and doing it. It's just fun.
Let's see. So you've been here a long time.
Yes.
Has there been anything that has surprised you in your time here, or something that really sticks out?
Well, in all my years, one of the coolest things I think is us becoming an ESOP. That's really changed a lot of my work family out here because I consider everybody out here like family. Um, we've all really bought in, and we now realize that we own this, so it means more to us. The quality, the every weld, our reputation. It's just becoming an ESOP, and the previous owners were great people. They took care of us, but now that it's ours, it means more.
Do you think that since becoming an ESOP, um, training or retention or even just morale is better than it used to be?
I think it is, and I say that, and I don't mean anything derogatory towards the past. I just think it's more just uh, being an owner changes your perspective because it's not just taking care of somebody else; it's taking care of each and every one of us and our brothers in Kansas.
Do you interact with them much?
Yes, yes, I do.
I know for a while they were sending folks back and forth to do training, and were you
Yes.
involved in that?
Oh yeah, I
So you
I
got to
know,
spend some
man.
time up there.
Yeah, and some of the guys came down here and helped out tremendously. Great guys. Uh, Paul Gale, who runs the shop up there, I've worked with Paulie close to 20 years. Great guy.
What kind of things do you like to do in Chickasha when you're not building trailers?
I've got season tickets to the Oklahoma Sooners. I'm a basketball fan. Um, when I can find time, I like to go fishing. I don't do. By the time I get out of here, most of the time I don't. I don't do a whole lot.
Okay, so we've already talked about you being here a long time, and you be considered the old man on
Yeah.
campus. When newer folks come in, young kids, or even returning people, how do you relate the ESOP to them? Like, how do you talk about why it's important, why they should care on a day to day basis?
Well, I always start out by letting them know that, like, if I have a group of guys, I let them know that they are talking to the owners of the company and that we are part owners of an ambulance, a newspaper, and they look at me like I'm nuts initially, but then it starts sinking in, and it helps them understand how important every role is. It's kind of cool when you have four guys and it's like that's the owner, that's the owner, you're the owner. It's I think it means a lot
Yeah,
to the, and it takes a little bit for the next generation, the younger generation, to really see because at 20 years old, who's really thinking retirement?
yeah, no, I know I wasn't.
Not.
And yeah, it's interesting that uh, I went to some conferences recently talking about employee ownership, and a lot of them almost talked more about how you need to talk about the benefits now, and
Right.
then the other benefits, those will come, and you'll pay attention to those. You'll be the beneficiary when you're
Yeah.
closer to retire. But yeah, just the I think just the difference in the culture and how people care, like you said, about every weld and every job is really one of the main benefits.
Yes. And teaching this next generation that we have like a following for our trailers. People are waiting for our product. There's families that put themselves in debt to get a Cimarron trailer. So you got to build it like you're going to buy it. You want your family rolling in the best, and these families deserve the best. And that's what we got to build it sub perfect.
That that's a pretty great slogan. Build it like you're going to buy it. I
Yeah,
like that quite a
that
bit.
should be a T-shirt.
Yeah. uh, I've definitely seen some Cimarron trailers even up here in the Cedar Rapids, Iowa area. So they're pretty widespread
Cool.
and sought after for sure. I know there's always a huge backlog, which is great.
Yeah, we call that. We joke and said that's a Cimarron in the wild. See it going
when you
down the
see them.
road. Yep.
I find myself paying attention to trailers as they're going by, and when I see they're not a Cimarron, I'm just kind of disappointed. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's too bad.
We built a pretty amazing product.
Yeah. So okay, random question. Um, IT goes down there pretty frequently, and I know I when I'm there, I like to try out all the different like local restaurants and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You can probably see a Jake's cup in my background, Jake's rib cup.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
are there any places that you like to eat at in Chickasha or in the surrounding area?
Well, I'd consider myself a foodie. I like to travel to eat. Um, just recently went up to Fassler Hall for an Oktoberfest. That's in Midtown in OKC. Um, I'm not a Jake's Rib fan. Living here, don't care for it. J&W Grill, Brandy's, Flower Shop, that's some good grub. Um, Italian joint just opened here, Luigi's, it's good.
Okay, gotta write that down for my next trip.
It's really good. Actually started in Chickasha back in the 50s and it's came
Okay,
back home recently. But yeah, I travel. My wife and I will travel um, quite far for some good food. And I will say
yeah.
she's a heck of a cook too.
What's your favorite dish that she makes?
Probably the shepherd's pie.
Mm,
I could make myself sick on that.
I can relate. Yeah, that's I'm Irish and
Okay.
definitely eat a lot of shepherd's pie growing up.
She made some German chocolate cupcakes the other day for my 50th birthday, and those were, man, outstanding. I ate myself sick on them.
All right, I thought of something else to ask you about the shop itself. I know it's not air conditioned out there, and hopefully it's getting a little cooler now for
Yes.
you guys. How do you handle the heat? Just like, is there anything that you specifically do for your guys?
We we had actually a couple guys this year. The heat hit them hard. One guy in trim shop who's not a welder, and then um, a young man, Blade Merrill. It hit him hard this year, uh, and we had both those young men in cooling vests, so you keep ice packs on the body. A lot of hydration because here in Oklahoma, when it's say 110 and a welder, 110 can feel like 130 on your chest quickly. A lot of hydration. Try to watch your hours. It takes a toll on you, especially being a welder out here. I got sick, heat exhaustion, oh, 15 years ago, and I still feel it every year. I like fall and I like spring. Summer takes a toll on me. So I really try to watch the guys, liquid IVs, try to cut down on the energy drinks, sugar, caffeine. I try my best to help when I can. I keep a stash of liquid IVs up here and I'll pass them out. We have water coolers, fresh water in them. We put them out every morning. We try hard to take care of everybody. And when they go down, we try to be quick to help. Because that welding is a very, very hot job.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, not to mention you're wearing a bucket on your head, basically.
Yeah. And then you've got
For
to keep your body covered. And so most of the time you have a t-shirt on and a shirt over it. And it's takes a toll on you.
it's pretty amazing that even with those conditions, they're still managed to put out such great quality trailers.
Yes.
I guess the inverse of that. So it'll be winter. I don't know. I think it gets pretty cold down there. I definitely have been down during some ice storms.
Yes.
Um, are there different risks when everything's closed off and the welding fumes are just kind of everywhere? And how do you deal with that?
Well, we have exhaust fans and everything, and normally we have the company's actually called big ass fans in the ceiling to keep the air circulating. So the fumes aren't nearly as bad. You can see them and they stick to everything, but we do have fairly good ventilation. On a decent day, we can crack the doors and turn the heaters down so we don't waste anything. But for the most part, it's not bad in fall and winter.
Okay, so the danger zone is really like in the heat of summer.
Yeah, if you want to be a welder, you want to weld fall, winter, spring. It's nicer.
You gotta make trailers all year round, though. Unfortunately,
Yes, we do. But
all right.
with our hours 6 to 3, what little overtime we've been working till 4, it's not as bad. So we try to take care of ourselves.
I was gonna ask if you modify your schedule at all around the heat.
And not so much with our hours used to be 7 to 4. We changed them to 6 to 3. So by the time the heat's really coming on during the summer, we're getting out. So we have that extra hour not to be hot's hot though.
That's good. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Any questions or comments for me?
No, this is kind of interesting. I've never done nothing like this. I'm proud to be part of the Foliance group and proud of all the guys in Cimarron, both facilities. I just want to be here for all the guys, do whatever I can to help.
Awesome. Yeah, I love getting down there. Everyone's super nice and just like coming home, basically, feels like.
Cool.
I hope to get down there.
Do what?
Yeah, I hope to get down there here sometime soon in the next few months. So, try out. Was it Luigi's?
Yes.
Yep.
And did you ever try
Not
the
just for
flower
that.
shop?
But try out which one?
Did you try the flower shop while you were here, the pizza place?
Yep. I've been there. We've been to Interurban.
Yeah.
It's usually a frequent stop.
That was dinner last night.
Mm-hmm. A&E has some good stuff. But yeah, there's quite a few good places in Chickasha proper. All right, well, thank you for joining me. It was fun to talk to you.
You too. Easy as that, right?
Thanks for listening to ESOPOD. If you want to get in touch, send me an email at esopod@foliance.com.